Ok, chicos, y para empezar, el libro clasifica este verbo gustar en la página 39, inmediatamente después de la página 38, because technically it's an AR verb. But before I explain anything further, please note that this verb has nothing in common with the verbs on page 38. Absolutamente nada, okay? It's like on a different planet in terms of how it works grammatically. No, it's irregular. It's just like diferente. You'll see. So in order to understand how it's differently and compare, let's go back to what we talked about on Monday on page 38. ¿Qué hace el artista? El artista dibuja. In class on Monday, we learned the ending of the verb tells us who's doing the action, right? El artista dibuja is simply saying what?
The artist.
The artist draws. Right, exactly. And we also learned on Monday that our verb conjugations for AR verbs have singular forms and plural forms. Is this verb singular or plural? Singular, because it's referring to how many people? Just one. So it's third person singular because it's not yo or two. Okay, el verbo gustar is what we use to express preferences. So in terms of meaning, because it's always important to focus on meaning first before we examine the technicalities of the grammar, what do you think this question's asking? Do you like to draw? Exactly. Now notice some differences here grammatically. We don't have E2, we have EAT. So that's one difference, and you'll see this on the super site, the test, final exam, and subsequent semesters. And then we have the verb, the infinitive, the fancy term for a verb that's not conjugated, to draw, dibujar, right? So te gusta must mean what? You like or do you like, depending on whether or not it's a question. But chicos, this verb conjugates, functions grammatically completely different than the verbs on page 38 because really we're reading from right to left. What we're really saying is drawing pleasing to you. That's really how this is working grammatically. Which is why, notice the ending of our verb is not as. What we learned on Monday is when you talk about a verb in the to form, you draw would be dibujas, right? Y tú dibujas? That's what we were talking about on Monday. However, we're really asking is drawing pleasing to you, which is why we have this te. So this verb, gustar, functions completely differently, grammatically speaking, than the verbs on page 38. So it's important to note that. So when we respond, notice I'm not saying, si, yo gusto. Don't write that on the superset or the test or you'll get it wrong. Gusto is never an option in chapter 2. It's me gusta, which really means what? I like, right. I like what? To draw. Now notice dibujar is not dibujo. I don't need to conjugate this verb in English either. I don't say I like, I draw. So it would be incorrect in Spanish to say me gusta, dibujo. I say me gusta, that verb's conjugated, and I leave dibujar alone. Okay? ¿Entienden? Pregunta.
Is there a name for this type of verb?
You know what? It's actually the verb gustar, and then we're going to learn other verbs like this, and they're going to be categorized in the book as verbs like gustar. So there's really not a technical term for that. We're just going to build off this. Gustar verbs, exactly. They should think of something. Okay, so drawing is pleasing to me. And drawing is a singular idea, so we use the singular form of the verb, and we use me to indicate me. Me is me in Spanish. But then, just to review from Monday, no dibujo. I took the verb dibujar. Now I'm saying no dibujo muy bien to indicate what? I don't what? Draw. Well, I didn't really draw that, but whatever. Okay. ¿Qué hace la familia? So la familia is what? What's la familia? The family. So just like words like la clase, la familia, el grupo, even though those are collective nouns, we know familia is referring to a group of people, or clase is referring to a group of people. Is our verb singular or plural? It's singular. Even though it's referring to a group of people, why?
Because it's one.
Because the word is singular. It's one family, right? I'm not saying las familias or las clases or los grupos. I'm saying la familia or la clase. So my verb conjugation is also singular. The family travels to Puerto Rico. This verb viajar is on page 38 and has different forms. Yo viajo. Nosotros viajamos, right? However, when we express likes about traveling or going to Puerto Rico, te gusta. Do you like Puerto Rico? Sí, me gusta Puerto Rico. But really we're saying Puerto Rico is very pleasing to me. To me. Me gusta. Te gusta. It functions completely differently. Now, miren, chicos, based on everything I just explained, first of all, what's this asking and what has changed grammatically? Te gustan las matemáticas is simply asking what? Do you like math, right? But what changed in my question versus the previous examples? Versus te gusta dibujar, right? What's plural? You're right.
Mathematics.
Mathematics is plural, and therefore what changed? Gusta changed to gustan, the plural form of the verb. Just like we learned on Monday, except for we're only using two options, a or an. On the super site, on the test, and from here on out in Spanish, if you're using the verb gustar to express likes, you have two options, gusta or gustan. There is no gustamos, there is no gusto, there is no gustas. If you write that, it's wrong. It's wrong on the super site and the test. It's just gusta or gustan, and it's based on what we're expressing an opinion about. Las matemáticas is plural, so we use gustan. But notice, you and me, nothing changes, okay? All right, y me gustan, plural, because why?
Foreign languages.
Right, exactly, foreign languages. Extranjeras, lenguas, las, it's all plural, so we use the plural form of our verb, okay? But I'm still talking about myself and my preferences, me, okay? Entonces, en español, cuando expresamos preferencias, tenemos dos opciones. If it's singular, gusta, regardless of who's expressing the opinion. Me, me, you, te. And we'll learn other ways as well. Also, it's important to note two things. Listen carefully. When we use infinitives, and the word infinitive is just what? To do something, like to listen, to talk, to practice, to prepare, just like in English. We don't conjugate the verb after gusta. We're going to leave it alone. It's never dibujo or dibujas. It's me gusta, dibujar. So that's one thing important to note. No conjugated verbs back-to-back in Spanish or in English. Also, this is muy importante, and I know this is on the super site, so listen carefully. Even if I'm expressing multiple things that I like to do, bailar, cantar, practicar, hablar, even if I list off like 5 infinitives, these AR verbs, it's always singular. Even though you would normally think, oh, but it's more than one thing. It should be gustan. It's an exception to the rule. So if we say like la pizza and la cerveza, we're going to use gustan. If you like to drink beer when you eat pizza, you would use gustan because those are nouns. But when we express our likes with infinitives, what we like to do, we're going to keep it in a singular form. That's an exception to the rule. Okay, chicos? Entienden el concepto.